Hey trans fellas, it's Alex here. Sorry I've been a bit delayed on my videos. I have recently just shut off my internet at my house so I can save money for top surgery. So I'm kind of eliminating all unnecessary expenses to get me where I need to go. So, with that being said, I am going to talk a little bit about last week's topic that I did not post a video for, which is coming out. Tips or my story. So any tips I have for coming out would be definitely do it at your own pace. Do it when it feels right, and it will. It takes patience. It's frustrating and scary. But I would definitely start out with my closest friends and or partner first, because those are obviously the people that are going to know you better than family at certain times. I mean, I definitely know people whose families are closer with them than their friends, so I mean, it could go either way. Or tell a close sibling or a relative. It's really up to you, but I would always start with whoever's closest to me, because they're gonna be the person that you confide in if things don't go as well with other people you come out to. And I'm sorry for this noise, it's my kittens. So that being said, um, don't let anybody try to put conditions on your transition or whatever you're coming out for. It may not be that you're trans. You may be coming out as gay or lesbian, whatever. Or you may be trans coming out as these things. Don't let them put conditions on your coming out. Don't let them tell you, oh yeah, I'm okay with you being whatever, but you can't post pictures, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's your life. Remember that you need to do what makes you happy. Obviously, if you're under the age of 18, you need to do things that are going to keep you safe and housed. I know that growing up in my house, there were just certain things I knew not to do because I didn't want tension to rise in the house, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But just try to stay positive. Stay out of the house if it's not a good environment as much as you can. And just reach out to people online or YouTube, whatever. It's still online, but you know, whatever ways that you can find positive people to surround yourself with. Excuse me. I know for me the internet was always like talked down on as far as like finding friends and stuff, but like that's not a real, it's not a real thing. So just try to do what makes you comfortable. It's really hard to give advice on coming out because you don't really know everybody's personal story. I believe that like when it comes to coming out, it's such an important part of your life and your journey that it's hard to give advice on a bulk size level. It's not like a one size fits all kind of deal, you know. It's really personal, and coming out for some people can mean maybe getting kicked out, maybe never talking to their family again, you know. So it's really hard. Sorry, I'm getting a text and I don't know what the hell it's saying. Anyways, so with that being said, I'll tell you guys a little bit about my story, my coming out story. So I came out to my mom when I was 12 years old as being a lesbian. We grew up in a really small town, so trans was not a part of LGBT. It was just LGB. Like, we said LGBT, but like I never knew what it stood for. I literally just like didn't know. And so that was like the only thing I knew to come out as. I was like, I always dressed masculine. I never liked dresses. Not that any of those things make me any more trans than somebody who did enjoy those things, because you're more than welcome to like makeup and like dresses and still be trans. But my personal story did not include liking anything feminine. So I came out to her as a lesbian, and I lived as a lesbian until I was like 17 years old. But I never really found a connection with other lesbians. I would try to make friends that dressed like me, so more masculine, and like I would ask them questions like, you know, when you're intimate with your partner, Do you let them, do things to you? Yes. And I would just always wonder to myself, like, why was it so hard for me to imagine letting my partner or somebody touch me in a way that was, like, intimate? It was something I really didn't like the idea of at all. And so I just never let anybody touch me in any way that was romantic or uncomfortable for me. Like, I just couldn't do it, So I think that was kind of a tip off that something wasn't right, because all of my friends like didn't have an issue with it who looked like me, and so I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm just fat, or maybe I just don't have confidence, like something must be wrong. And I had realized, once I started dating my current girlfriend and we started getting intimate, that like I had a real issue with my chest. Like anytime we were sexually intimate and I would be like on top of her and I could feel my chest, whether we were clothed or not, it would bring me to tears, So things like that were kind of like red flags to me, but there was no definition that I had for it. It was just like uncomfort and like a feeling of sadness and like disassociation, I guess. And so I remember one of my friends being on Tumblr and me being like, what is Tumblr? Like, that looks lame, because I just used Facebook. And they were like, no, it's really cool, like, you should sign up. And I was like, no, that's stupid, I'm not going to sign up. And then one day I was like, oh, I'm bored, I'm going to sign up for Tumblr. And I signed up for Tumblr. Well, after like months of having a Tumblr, I found the trans community. And I started watching videos and I started reading up on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is me. Like I found who I am, But I was still like 17 years old and living in a house with my stepfather, who was like intensely homophobic, transphobic, just phobic in general. So this was like a household where, like, if I wore a hat, he would literally tell me, I know that you want to be a man, but you're never going to be a man, so just stop. Um, and so I didn't really feel like I was in a position to ever transition. I was like, he's never going to love me or accept me. I'm not strong enough to do this without support. My siblings were, like, I didn't think that they would ever accept it. My older sister had always told me, please don't ever transition. I remember her telling me when I was like 11, I've always wanted a little sister, like, please don't do that to me. And so, like, I'm the type of person where I really care a lot what people think. I really want everybody around me to be happy. And so I didn't want to transition and make everyone around me miserable and make everyone around me uncomfortable or sad that I changed who I was. So I was willing to try to be happy in a body that I really fucking hated. Jessica was really my girlfriend, the only one who supported me and who really tried. I mean, she didn't understand it. She came from a family that wasn't accepting of her lesbian identity, and so she didn't know anything about it, and basically we both learned together. And so she's been through everything with me. And I never really came out to my dad as trans. I came out to him as gay when I was 17, and then I moved out when I was 18 because I couldn't handle, like, I couldn't handle living a double life anymore. Like, I just couldn't do it. So I moved down to San Diego when I was like, oh wait, no, I moved out of my house when I was like 19. I moved down to San Diego. I got a job at Starbucks. I started going by Alex. I cut off all my hair because that was something I'd been wanting to do forever, and my sister does hair and she would never cut my hair, and then finally I was like, please cut my fucking hair, I'm gonna die. And she finally cut it. By the way, I had the man bun haircut before everyone had it. I just didn't know that I could do a man bun with it. So and then, I mean, I started getting happier, but like it was like, this would be fully happy, right? This right here. And I was like, here. Like, something was missing, obviously. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I'm living as Alex. I have my hair short. I don't have a binder, and I haven't started hormones. But, I mean, I don't want to make everyone uncomfortable again. So, I couldn't go through with it anymore. Like, my depression was getting worse, my dysphoria was awful, I was like angry all the time. Jessica, like, being with me was miserable for her because I was just a fucking resentful asshole. And so I decided to go to therapy because I was like, well, let's figure this shit out. Either I'm not trans and I just don't have any confidence in myself, or I'm trans and I just need to accept it. So I started going to therapy, and my therapist was like, yeah, definitely you are trans. Like, this, there's no doubt in my mind. And so we had to work through the fact that, like, I couldn't let myself do it for the pleasure of everyone around me, and the fact that I just needed to do what made me happy. So I made the decision to get my letter and start hormones. And when I told my sisters, they were like crying and just having bad dreams that I was going to get diseases and all this stuff. And I just told them, like, this is my journey and I'm going to do what I want to do. And I am an adult and I'm paying for this and you guys aren't doing anything. So this is what I'm going to do. And it kind of forced them to just look at it from another perspective and accept it. And here I am now. Today is actually my 9 months on testosterone, so I'm really happy. And the biggest advice I can give to you guys is do what makes you happy. That's the ultimate goal, is happiness. And with that being said, I need to go to the mall now, so hope you guys have a great day. Happy Valentine's Day coming up. If you don't have a Valentine, it's okay. Don't let anybody make you feel like you're not important, because we love you guys. So see you later.